Hard R fans, Hollywood's fans, this is for you right here. What the hell are you doing in Hollywood? The undisputed champions of Black Wrestling Podcasting, the Hard R. Woo!
Hard R Wrestling Podcast. Acknowledge me if you smell what the Hard R Wrestling Podcast is cooking. And now it's time! By God, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. The Hard R Wrestling Podcast emanates live from Maryland to Virginia. And yeah, man, it could be. The show could be awesome. I don't know. It could be a shit show. I don't know. A lot of stuff going on. Before we get into all that, how was everybody's Thanksgiving?
It was good.
It's good.
Do you really want me to talk about Thanksgiving?
God.
Oh
Go ahead.
Sure, but
What you got on your chest? He who remains.
The beast.
What a weird name.
I went to my wife's sister's place, right?
Okay.
Now, y'all know my wife is half white.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Let me just say.
I actually did know
I
that.
didn't
but
know
sure.
that. I didn't know that.
All right. Well, I really didn't want to celebrate Thanksgiving. I really wanted to move because, that was the last holiday my mom was alive. She literally died like a few days after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to move to do anything. And then they told us last minute that we wasn't going to have to work like Monday. So I was just like, well, all the plans I could have made, I didn't make because they waited so late. Plus, my wife said she was going to go to work that night, which she actually didn't. So I wish I would have just went with what I was going to do, which was go to my cousin's house up near the DC area because my sister went there too. And my cousin's wife is a chef. She's an actual chef, has her own business. I mean, makes great fucking food, right? All right. So me being not wanting to do shit, last minute we was like, all right, we're gonna go ahead over to her sister's house. And her sister got this big, huge dog. And my wife wanted to take the kittens over there. I'm like, why are we taking kittens over there? It's a big, huge ass dog over there. So
Wait a minute, you said kittens?
Yeah, the 2 kittens we got. We had 2 kittens that we've been fostering for like the last 8
I don't
weeks.
see you as a kitten person.
I ain't really a kitten person. She's
Y'all
a
don't
fucking
remember he
override.
had the kittens that were hanging on his neck and stuff like a few weeks ago?
That's
No,
right.
yeah, the Doc Doolittle of the family. She wanted to get these 2 kittens, and fucking I was just like, fuck it, keep both of them because I ain't want to separate them because they've been growing up together, so I ain't feel it'd be right to separate them. So 2 more cats we got. So fucking she want to take the cats over there, the kittens, because they still small as a bitch. So I'm just like, why are we doing this? Because I didn't want to leave them by themselves this long. I was like, all right, whatever. So we take them over there. Her sister immediately says, why did you bring the kittens? Maggie will kill them. I was just like,
Maggie will kill
Who the fuck is
Maggie will kill them.
Mhm.
And then
The
she was
dog.
just like, well, they're in the cage. She was like, Maggie will kill them.
I like Maggie because I don't like cats, but go ahead.
I don't like animals, period, but okay.
Well, so I'm just like, Lord, here we go. So, we get there and, about 5 minutes later, they're just like, all right, well, let's go ahead and say the grace to eat. So I'm like, all right. So everybody getting their plate. I'm standing watch over the kittens to make sure Maggie don't kill the kittens. So about 20 minutes go by. Everybody get their plate, eat and all that. And I'm just, all right, yeah, I'm ready to eat. I get up there to eat. And then I look at the spread.
Green bean casserole.
Man, I look. That's how I don't eat that. That don't eat that. That said don't eat that. I was like, oh, we got stuffing at least I can eat. Look a little closer. There's fucking cranberries in the stuffing. I said, what the fuck is this shit?
I'm sorry.
You heard me right.
Cranberries.
You heard me right. Cranberries and the fucking stuffing.
What
So
kind
then
of
I was like,
Caucasian shit is
can't,
that?
I said, can't eat this shit either. So I was like, well, what the fuck can I eat up here? Oh, I found some collard greens, some string beans, a roll, and a piece of turkey and a piece of ham. And my plate was skimpy as a motherfucker. Right, so I tried to hide my plate because I ain't want nobody to ask me no damn questions. I ain't want nobody. Oh, you don't like this? Oh, why you? Nope. Hid my plate so nobody couldn't see shit. Ate my plate in like 30 seconds because that's how small it was. And I was like, we got to get the fuck up out of here. Get these kittens. Let's get the fuck up out of here because I'm hungrier now than before I came here. So we got the kittens. About 10, 15 minutes later, we left. I get home. I ordered fucking a quesadilla and a milkshake from Wawa. So that's my fucking Thanksgiving.
No.
The driver left the fucking milkshake. So I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. Fuck Thanksgiving this year.
No.
But the driver turned around and went back and got my milkshake. So my Thanksgiving, I'm thankful that at least places like Wawa's open to help people like me out who left Thanksgiving hungrier than they went to Thanksgiving. So
you know what you should have. You know what you should have got, man. You ever had the gobbler at Wawa?
No, I haven't had the gobbler.
Gobbler is great. It's basically a Thanksgiving sandwich. Basically, like a set bread, turkey, stuffing, gravy, and cranberry sauce on it. But it's not chunky. But it's really good.
Oh, at this point, I'm done with the cranberries. And
can I talk about cranberry sauce real quick? Do y'all like the Jello or the regular cranberry?
I don't like cranberry sauce at all, period.
I hate the Jello. Why people like that shit?
No, I don't like the Jello. I like regular. But look, like to make things worse, right? Mm-hmm. I get home and I'm looking on Facebook, and my sister got the nerve to post, "Oh, food's so good, makes you want to go into a coma." And then my cousin's wife got a picture of the turkey, talking about some grilled turkey for the win on the fucking grill. I saw to call them and cuss them all out.
Lord, geez. Well, first of all, from now on, I get why you want to celebrate, but from this point on, you know where you got to go. You got to go to the darker side of your extended personal family. You can't. We can't have you out there like this, man. That's a travesty. I want to talk to your wife after this, and I want to speak to her manager. Well, I'm sorry. I ain't gonna tell you about my Thanksgiving.
I thought it was gonna turn into a dark place, like somehow the kittens.
Me too. I thought that's where you were going.
I thought Maggie got
cats.
You know what? If Maggie would have got to the kids, at least she would have ate more than I ate.
Well, I'll just say this. I think the only person that had a worse Thanksgiving than you was Seth Rollins. But we'll get into that in a few minutes.
And Tony Khan.
Oh, shit.
So we're gonna talk about the elephant in the room. You know, the elephant. We just gonna put the elephant right here for right now.
OD'd after last night.
I don't know. He smokes a lot of cocaine allegedly.
We all know what the elephant. You know what? Let's just call it the elephant in the room.
Okay.
R-Truth is back.
Yes.
R-Truth
is back. Little Johnny, all of them is back, bro.
Say what you want about the night. Tozawa stole that show. He stole the show on that one. Tozawa was hitting that shit.
Oh man,
I'm so proud of R-Truth returning. The WWE can flourish again. I'm so happy. So, for those of you who maybe don't know, been living under the proverbial rock, War Games emanated from the All-State Arena. Where's the All-State Arena? What location? I think it's somewhere in Illinois. I don't know. Anyway,
South End,
maybe Chicago. I don't know.
Chi-Town.
Chi-Town.
Chicago. No.
And a lot of good matches happen.
Shout out to first of all Survivor Series. Survivor Series being the second franchise pay-per-view of the WWE. It was WrestleMania, and then it was Survivor Series, and Survivor Series was basically WWE's answer to the NWA WCW back in the day, Starrcade, because Starrcade was always, growing up, we knew Starrcade.
Starrcade was the shit.
Starrcade was the shit. Starrcade is actually the granddaddy of all the pay-per-view, wrestling pay-per-view.
WrestleMania before it was WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania. It was before WrestleMania and everything. But Starrcade used to be the end of the year pay-per-view for NWA. where WCW, whatever, that was on Thanksgiving night or whatnot. And then back in 19, I believe 87, 88, if I'm not mistaken, WWE decided to throw their own Thanksgiving night pay-per-view, which we knew as Survivor Series. So, shout out for both of these Survivor Series being out as long as it did. And they basically now have kind of merged. They stopped the traditional Survivor Series matches and now have kind of like merged Survivor Series with another former NWA WCW event known as War Games. But I just want to get that out the way.
Thank you. No, that's good historical context, and I mean, I'm all for it. I know we've been complaining for the last few weeks how Survivor Series, not Survivor Series, War Games is a little like, well, there ain't gonna be no blood. You're competing with AEW. I had a lot of, I mean, obviously, the ending was, but even before that, I thought both matches were a lot of fun. They very.
What happened? I turned it off as soon as the copyright came up. What are you talking about?
Oh shit, man! We'll talk about that. That. Just a little something happened. But one of the matches I wanted to quickly talk about that I thought was one of the best, like, technical esque matches of the night was Santos Escobar against Dragon Lee. I'm a big fan of Santos, and he won. He ended up winning the match. I thought it was a really, really decent little match to sort of showcase Dragon Lee, what he can do. I think the right person won. Santos, he just got that it factor.
Y'all hear the chance too for Dragon Lee starting to get a little momentum.
Shockingly, yeah.
I was very surprised about that, because I always felt Dragon Lee was, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, but maybe it's going to come off kind of negative, that he was kind of like another Kalisto, because remember they was trying to push Kalisto to be the next, like, kind of like Rey
all those vignettes that went
nowhere.
Sin Cara and all them. But he actually, it was a good match. That match served its purpose.
Yeah,
it built Santos Escobar up for people who don't remember him from NXT, who don't watch NXT, and they just see WWE, the main roster. His heel abilities, because he was a great heel at NXT, and I think he's always better as a heel. I like Santos Escobar, but I was not really a fan of his face work with Rey Mysterio and the LWO and all this. And I was just
he's a natural heel. He's just a natural heel. He's so good at it. And the little things that he does.
And I love him going back to his old music, and everything like
the
that.
Plancha,
Dragon,
like the joint,
but Dragon Lee getting that, saying kind of getting that rub, and the crowd was kind of, they started chanting for him and everything. I was like, oh, okay, he has a little thing going. But yeah, it was an excellent match.
Yeah. Not much to say there. After that, another match that I thought that was a highlight. I'm not quite on the train, but I could be a passenger. I could be a passenger to a destination that I'm gonna jump the hell off. But
pause. Give it to me, D-Lo.
Do it,
Jason. Are you talking about the longest reigning and defending Intercontinental Champion? Gotcha!
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That was good. Yeah. Him. He had a match with Miz. This little, I'm calling it a little feud. Everybody knew what the ending was going to be, but I thought Gunther got as much out of Miz as we were going to get, as far as Miz is a very good promo. He did a very good promo, hyped the match up. Gunther kind of, was kind of going toe to toe with him on the mic, talking about how he's not his favorite cup of tea, and like he hated that era that he was champion, and he's been throwing. Actually, Gunther, K-Face has been throwing shots at a lot of folks. John Cena, but definitely Hogan, definitely The Rock. I'm gonna be honest, it goes with the gimmick. I'm kind of into it. But fellas, what did you think about the match?
My second favorite match of the night after the men's War Games. My second favorite match of the night.
How did y'all feel about the women's War Games though?
Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
We're gonna
That's
get to it.
next. We're
We'll
gonna
get to
talk
it.
about that.
But
It
it's
was,
this
it was
this
a
is
nice
probably
little
my
Raw match. I thought.
yeah.
Just
Yeah, I think
But
it allowed me, and Miz actually was doing some good wrestling too in this. You know,
He was pretty good.
he was doing, you know what I'm saying, he did a lot of stuff that paid homage to people like the whole Bret Hart figure four on the
oh, the
post,
figure four, yeah.
Always love
which
that.
is, listen, to
We're gonna
this
mark
day,
out for
that is
that.
still one of the sickest things I ever saw. When
Yeah.
Bret Hart first did that shit, I think he did the Diesel in the match, in a Survivor Series match when he beat Diesel for the world title. I was like, yo, did this dude really just put a dude in the figure four on the ring post or
Innovative.
whatever? But
One of the best, man.
yeah, man. So I dug it, and you know, it I think the match served its purpose. You know, served its purpose.
I'm gonna do a little fire on you. Hell hasn't froze over yet, but isn't snowing.
Jesus, you read it like you half retarded, man.
We cannot say that word. We cannot say that word anymore. We're gonna get canceled.
Like you
special
have,
needs.
You have special needs, like you on the Jim Duggan spectrum. God damn.
One thing is kind of interesting because I think Michael Cole said something to the fact that, you know, Gunther hasn't, which is true. You know, they're broadcasting that Gunther has not actually been pinned in 2 years. And some would say that you could pretty much get anybody over if you just pile a bunch of wins over them. If they have a little bit of a following, you make them seem unstoppable. You could pretty much do that to anybody, and they will.
We're not gonna do this.
What do you think?
You actually have to put on good matches, man. Come on, Gunther he's had arguably the best or top 2 matches of every pay-per-view he's wrestled on, man.
Yeah.
So Jason, stop with the Gunther slander, man. It's not becoming of you.
It's not. We're not gonna do this. We definitely not gonna do this. We ain't acting like Gunther just going out there doing 5 moves of doom, and everyone is like woo or whatever. No, he's out there putting on matches, and I mean it's just not singles matches. It's 3-way, 4-way matches or whatever. And also, like, as long as he spent in the Rumble last year coming in, well, he was number 2 last year, and he made it all the way to the end. We ain't gonna do that. Sorry, we're not doing that. Gunther is that guy.
I will say, I mean, I definitely don't see him, you know, being like the man, the champion, the universal champion. I don't know. I don't see it, but I do, however, see him being the whatever the fuck Seth Rollins belt is.
The participation trophy champion.
I see them giving him that belt. I could totally see him doing that and being pretty dominant for 6 months.
If they put the world title on Jinder Mahal, you ain't no way you're gonna sit there and tell me that Gunther can't be the world champion.
Well, anything can happen in WWE. Doesn't mean it makes sense. But I will say, like, I definitely see them putting that belt, but not the universal belt. At least not yet. But who knows? I'll say this: they have definitely booked Gunther to perfection, which is a credit to him. You know, he doesn't have necessarily like the normal look of other than being big as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have the normal look of a WWE star. But I think the way that they presented him, the storyline, and just his wrestling ability, I mean, he's really. I mean, that's like 60-70% of it is just, you know, his ability, you know, to get himself over in a crowd just is by him, you know, and they're willing to go on the ride with him. They you know, when they kind of need to cheer him, show him his props, they do that. When they need to boo him, that's everything that you want in a heel, like a respectable heel that you can kind of, you know, put in any situation, he'll do good. So,
and the thing I like about it is because you can tell Vince isn't in this. He's not doing the stereotypical foreigner, I hate America type bullshit. Every foreigner that comes into WWE, they have to be anti-USA. They hate America,
and that puts a limit on them. Nobody wants to see that shit.
And Gunther doesn't have to. Gunther's just like, I am the ring general. It is a sacred place.
And I kind of like that. He's like a wrestling purist. Like, a lot of people online are like that. Like, no, you got to do, you know, like this sport entertainment shit. I like the gimmick. I like the gimmick. I'm glad they're moving away from like the Nazi stuff that I always kidding them about, but more the like this is what wrestling is supposed to be. I like that. So
Nice. It's awesome.
yeah, he's
Okay.
all right. Moving on to the women's war games. You know what? I'm a lob it to He Who Remains, and then we'll go to Mussolini. To I would love to hear you guys' thoughts if you guys happen to watch it.
The women's. Um.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
No, I mean the best thing about the women's war games was Bailey. Like she
Big
was the
booty
MVP
Bailey.
of their team, like of the little Asian midgets. She was the
We
MVP.
can't. The retarded and now the Asian midgets. We can't.
I
we
mean,
can't
they
see that.
are they are small. Like Bailey is just
Not
like,
okay. All right. Continue.
but Bailey was like the MVP, man. And it's a shame that she's gonna get kicked out of damage
For being
control.
white.
Yeah, but
A colonizer.
Yeah,
the colonizer.
but
Crack
I mean,
Wait
ass,
for
crack
Kyrie to
out,
like
you
curse her out, like fucking
yeah, Bailey was
colonizer.
great, and I think it's a tragedy that when they mentioned the four horsewomen, how Charlotte's a 14-time champion, and Becky's a 6-time champion, and won't Sasha like 6-time champion?
Yeah.
And then
Also, real
Bailey's
quick,
just a 3-time champ.
shout out to Michael Cole, even like still mentioning the four horsewomen,
Oh
considering how
Oh.
things ended with Sasha, aka Mercedes. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
But that's
they're doing that shit to
thing.
butter her up. So
No, but that's a thing too to show you that Triple H is really in charge, because Triple H has a good relationship with Sasha. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he wouldn't throw shade at somebody that he could possibly bring back in the future. So that's more shout out to Triple H than Michael Cole. So.
Yeah.
But that's all I got to say about the women's. Just Bailey.
Well, I mean, for both War Games matches, the good guys won, and we'll talk about the men's match in a few. But as far as the women's match, the good girl, what Mussolini, excuse me,
Mussolini.
like Mussolini. What did you think of the match? Was it too much of a formula
the best
thing,
part of
or
the
did you
match,
just have fun with it?
well, the best part of the match for me was when it was over.
Yep.
Because I didn't think it was terrible, but this match would have been better served as being like a regular 8-man or 8-woman
Yeah,
tag
it's
match.
4-on-4. Like 4-on-4. That's not even War Games. 4-on-4.
And there were some cool spots. Charlotte did a moonsault from the top. She hit I don't know if it was Kyrie or Io.
It was Io.
Right in the fucking face with her knee.
Yeah.
And I hope she's good, because that didn't look great. But it's the same problem that I have with the AEW War Games. It's just a lot of standing around. I gotta, like, why do you need a table? Why do you need pipes? Why do you need chairs?
Well, the crowd was bitching and moaning for it for 30 minutes.
That's because they started out doing it. Like, if you start out doing it, if you don't just go in the ring and you start going under the ring and start grabbing stuff, of course those idiots are gonna yell table.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like before they even got in the ring. We're just gonna start. I was like, yo, come. Go ahead, D-Lo. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It's just we all old school wrestling fans. We watched these War Games matches in the past. Like, they didn't have any of this stuff. It was just 8 people in a cage locked up, and
each other ass.
And they're gonna beat each other's ass with what they have on them: belts, boots. They're gonna use the cage. It's just
tampons.
And what all these, and I know
dildos.
it's women, we really don't want to see women bleed like that. But you bring in all these weapons and nobody bleeds. Like, come on now.
Well, somebody did bleed. Shotzi actually, it was on accident, but Shotzi, it was nice. She got a nice little.
Well, won't nobody looking at
stain on
Shotzi anyway, so I don't know.
Be nice. I thought she did okay. She didn't kill herself.
Awkward movie.
I will say this is my one irritation with the current iteration of the War Games match. The original War Games match, there was no pinfalls. it was either you submit
you
or
quit.
you surrender. You submit or your team quits or whatever. It wasn't no pinfalls or whatever. And for me, that makes a lot more sense for war games. But I wish it went back to that where you basically whipping a team's ass so bad or whatever they quit. Like, for example, when the horse, like one of the only war games that the Horsemen ever won was when the Horsemen took on Sting's team of it was Sting, the Steiner brothers, and Brian Pillman, and they like stopped, they like basically surrendered because Sid fucking did a mega botch when he tried to power bomb Brian Pillman in the cage. And remember, war games used to have the cage, had the roof on top of the cage, and that shit, like Brian Pillman got slapped in the face with the cage and then came down like on his neck. And then Sid did it again, and they was like, "Yo, cheat!" They had to stop the match for that. But all the other matches, like I said, been submit, you know what I'm saying, or surrender. For me, the match was okay. You know, was okay. What the hell was up with the black and blue kendo sticks? Like, what the fuck was? I was like, what?
They're gonna probably start selling kendo sticks. You know,
like,
WWE, they're gonna sell everything.
I was like, what the fuck
they'll sell blood
those a Japanese thing? They still leaning into the stereotype. They have to have the Asian person with kendo sticks or something,
right, or whatever. You know, I think for what the match did, it served its purpose of telling a story of how Bayley's about to become a fucking face again. Yeah. Because if you look at if you watch the match, she saved every last one of them bras.
And then they just hung her out to dry.
Right, they hung her out to dry. She saved everybody on that team.
She even took a spear.
She took
Charlotte.
a spear.
She took everything.
A spear from Carr.
She took everything but BBC in that match.
Oh my god. Okay, let's.
I mean,
so and that was another thing.
Can she take that? I mean, I'm just asking.
Everybody was expecting for her to get her ass kicked after, and it didn't happen. So I'm like, all right.
Right.
Well,
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for them to turn.
Could you really beat her up anymore after what they did to her? Like, God,
yeah. Hey, you know what is it? Beating a dead horse? Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Y'all wanted her to beat the dead horse.
Hey, how many times
she's already dead.
How many times have we seen this shit? I mean, look what the fuck Roman and the Bloodline did to Kevin Owens last year, where Sammy was like, "Nah, nigga, I'm good."
Yeah, I mean,
that would have been the epitome of beating a dead horse. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have to agree with Antonio. I think it, you know, given a psychology of war games and stuff like that, it does make more sense for them to submit and be like, whether the team submits or somebody submits for the team, or you know, it should be type of.
That's how you end the feud. That's
how you end the feud.
Somebody quits. Like, I don't want to do this no more. Like,
now, as far as the blood, I don't know how attached Vince McMahon is. I hate to keep using that because I mean, eventually we're gonna have to say Triple H, or Triple H. Like, I don't know.
Triple H after what happened.
Well,
so.
I will say this.
No. Well, let me just say the point. Like, I don't know how much. I don't think the women have a lot of leeway as far as how violent they can get. Like, I know for sure, like the girls have said, the women have said that they can't really bleed. They don't want to see women like bloodied up.
Why have?
And I get that, but it could be argument made the other way. It's like, well, if the men, I mean, if they allow the men to do it, I mean, I guess they would have to let the women do it, right? That wouldn't make sense if they're being beat to death. The men are being beat to death, and when the women get beat to death, they don't bleed. So I guess they're like, well, they just won't fucking bleed.
But why have a match? Why even be a cage match? Why not just be an 8-man tag match and just with weapons and shit? Like, what? Yeah. There was no point in it being a cage match. Everybody was outside. Like, I don't know. But go ahead, franchise.
WWE's making. Sorry, go ahead. Hell haven't frozen over yet, but it is knowing. Go ahead.
There were some headshots in there. Kakari Zane took that damn fucking trash can lid and slapped the shit out of Shotzi in the head.
When she did that elbow on the chairs.
Yeah, like there was some like headshots with some of the the kendo stick And like I said, with that little bacon sheet, whatever it was, she did like a spinning back fist type shit with that thing.
Yeah,
I said, God damn, that shit
yeah,
slapped.
and she did that shit fast too.
She slapped the shit out of her with it. So, I know WWE don't really do headshots with chairs and stuff no more. But like I said, like he said, my biggest thing is cage matches are like used to end feuds, and you're gonna see some bleeding in that. Granted, cool. I understand if you don't want the women to really be bleeding all over the place and everything like that. I get that. But like D-Lo said, why have the match? Why have it? Just have it be a regular street fight. You know what I'm saying? Having a street fight, a falls count anywhere. You know what I'm saying? What they used to call a Texas tornado match. It's gonna be good.
Falls count anywhere or something.
Yeah. So
It was. I mean, I thought it was a fun match. I mean, for the restraints that they have on these type of matches, and I guess people can make the argument. Well, WWE doesn't do it because they don't have to do it. I mean, and we'll talk about this in a few, but
Jason, do I need to speed you up, man?
They're far above any secondary promotion. They're destroying any. Do they actually need to? Yes, we would like it. I mean, hardcore fans would like it. Do they really need to bleed? I mean,
I'll just say like this: then there's no point in them ever having hardcore matches or having street fights. There's no point in that. They should never have those type of matches. Then that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, if you got a cage and nobody bleeds, it really don't.
You got a cage and nobody.
You're getting hit with trash cans. Your face is being thrown into the cage. You're getting hit with bacon sheets. At some point, you're going to bleed. And they just honestly, at the end of the match, when they were raising their hands, they didn't even look like they broke a sweat.
Yeah, they was like the only thing that was broke was Bianca's ponytail. Bianca's ponytail was split in two. That's about it. Everything they all looked like they was cool. And Shotzi looked a little worse for wear because of her little shit. That she had the blue shit.
She probably fucked up.
But all right, we got that out the way. Let's get to it. let's get to the main event and then move on.
Thank you.
That was an interesting main event. War Games, the men. We had a lot of folks there. There were actually 5 people in the match. 5 good guys, 5 bad guys. You know what? I'm gonna throw this first to Mussolini, and then we'll have a discussion.
War Games going on in the background at your house.
Yeah, we'll have a discussion. And then after Mussolini talks, then we'll go to He Who Remains, and we'll have a little chat.
So we're talking about the main event.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay too. So I've read online that Triple H is a big fan of old school NWA because that's what he grew up on, and Cody was Dusty's father, or Dusty's son.
Dusty was Cody.
Yeah, I was like, well. So I had high hopes for this because, all right, Triple H is an NWA fan. Cody's never been in a War Game, so he's going to want to do his dad proud. And it's the same thing that happened with the women's match. Why are we bringing out pipes? Why are we bringing out chairs? Why are we bringing out tables? Cowbell. Why are we what is... They say there was a Texas bull rope like the match, right? Texas bull rope match. What is this? And it's like they're big fans of that old school NWA, but they didn't do it any justice. It was just a regular WWE match with the
can't do it justice, though. They can't, and that's the problem. They try to make us reminisce about old stuff like that, but then by them doing that, it's making us madder because it's like you. Yeah, we're glad you brought it in, but you ain't do it right. So why'd you do it in the first place?
And then JD McDonough, I can't stand to look at the dude. His body shape is just weird. His body shape is just weird.
Is he actually smaller than Carmelo Hayes? Mussolini?
No, his head is the size of Carmelo Hayes.
He looks like a legit Funko Pop, yo, for real.
Right.
He looks like a real life walking Funko Pop. His body is His body is literally this big. Go ahead, Jason. Put one of them out. His body is literally.
This is him.
Yeah, like literally.
This is him
his
wrestling
body
the whole
is
night.
That
That was all he was doing.
And his head, like the ending of the match, there was no way Randy was going to miss doing that RKO because
he almost didn't hit it though. He almost didn't hit it.
He almost, but he did
it.
Yeah,
and Randy Orton, I mean, he looked great. He I mean, it looks like
he looked huge. He looked amazing. He looked amazing.
You know how fucking big
everything.
He dwarfed everybody in that match.
Randy looked like he was Batista. He was the damn animal. It's like he was the animal and Batista was the crown jewel, the lump of coal that's being molded.
Hold on. How scary can a team be in a War Games match who has Dominic Mysterio coming out last?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, from a storyline,
and then Drew McIntyre was looking for revenge on Jey Uso, and nothing really happened. They just kind of went back and forth. It was just a weird match, and like I don't know. I mean, Randy Orton looked like $1 million, so he had I guess double back fusion surgery. So I hope he's.
Oh, shout out to him for that shit, yeah, because that fucks you up. And I've had people in my family who, my mom, God bless her soul, she had back surgery twice. She had one back in 2014, 13 in one spot, and then had to get another back fusion in 2017. And that shit can fuck you up. And my uncle just finished having back fusion, but he's a goddamn giant. He's 7. My uncle is 7'1", and he had
hell.
But they also got access to the best doctors in the world too.
That's true too.
And he's healthy. I mean, he's been eating healthy his whole life and training.
Yeah.
He's
eating something other than food right now. So
he got a black wife.
But anyway, he was eating his fine ass wife.
La 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 la.
But yo, he when he came out, I said, God damn, Randy was big. And shit, yo, for real.
Yo, if Vince was backstage, his pants would have been off because that old man loves nothing more than a 6'5", 250-pound
meat. He'd have ripped his quads.
He'd have been like, oh my grapefruit. God,
he'd have ripped his quads again.
Look at Randy. Look at Randy.
Look at Randy. Oh, shit, Randy.
Oh, my God.
And I'll say this. And then I'll toss it over to He Who Remains. But talk have everything that you want to say about your tribal chief, our tribal chief. Every one of the faces in that match, all of the faces in that match are way more popular than they would have been if it wasn't for your tribal chief. Jimmy Uso incredibly over with the fans.
Jay,
I don't even get him damn self.
Don't say fucking Jimmy. Jay is Jay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, whichever. I don't know. He's super over. Sami Zayn is still completely over. I mean, before he was involved with the Bloodline, he was doing shit with Jack Off, that guy from
Jackass people.
Jackass people. Thank you. I said Jack Off. Wow. You see where my mind's at. What I might be doing now, you don't know. Cody Rhodes. I mean, pretty much everybody that the tribal chief has touched or beaten or pinned, they are all super over. And then of course Randy Orton, but he's Randy Orton. But that was the thing that amazed me, like how over all the baby faces were. Like they are all red hot. So, with that said, in the spirit of prodigal sons returning, let's say that, and I'm gonna just toss it over.
Just stop talking. I'll take
He
over.
Who Remains.
Just stop talking. I'm just gonna play this, and y'all can take it how y'all want to take it.
Oh God.
You could know that your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Please welcome our special guest.
Holy shit. How? Why? What in the world? Was it CM Punk? Was it Tyler Perry? I don't know. Who was it? Was
Tyler
it P.
Perry?
Diddy? Who did this? Who did it? Oh my God. I'm gonna put him on the top. ladies and gentlemen,
Aaron Hall.
The Hard R's very own Greg. How you doing, man? How's it going, buddy?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
One of the founding fathers of this show.
He's like all elite white boys, but black. I mean, not all elite because none of us are elite. But I mean, hey, what's going on, bro? Oh, of course.
We can't hear him.
Oh,
no,
of course we can't hear him.
Of course,
Hold on.
This is all like, he who remains fault.
This is like AEW right now.
I can't hear shit.
They're gonna go to commercial break and play the whole segment over again.
Goddamn Bucks, they fucking with us again. They fucked with AEW, now they fucking with us.
Your fault, Jason.
It is my fault. It is my fault. I'll take all the blame. But
Hold on.
He's the one.
Put the ones up.
Put the ones up. While we're getting that straight, the elephant in the room, where everybody's been talking about. He is in the conversation. He's been the conversation piece for an entire year. Y'all got mad at it. Y'all got upset about it. I don't want to talk about him no more. But you know what? He is fucking wrestling. He's bigger than wrestling. CM Punk returned. He ain't bigger than wrestling, but CM Punk returned. Yeah, there you go. There we go. CM Punk made his glorious return, just like Grego made his glorious return. And I'm all for it. I would love to hear what y'all have to say, but I'm gonna toss it over to Greg first. What's up, man?
Greg said, "Hey guys, I want to come on to talk about this." And Greg, it's all you, my brother.
You know, fast one on the whole world, because just as we're thinking that, hey, the show's about to go off and just everything's about, I guess, no Punk. I mean, that pop.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times y'all have watched that video from last night, because apparently it's had over 17, 18 million views since last night. But
it was 1.3 in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Of the airing.
Yeah, that was a moment.
Before you continue, quick question:
go
which
ahead.
pop do you think was bigger, that one or his return to AEW? Last night was big, but that AEW pop was, I think, still bigger.
Yeah, the first
that was long, but they allowed it to be long.
Yeah,
they allowed it to be long.
Sound like my wife.
I'm gonna give a slight nod to the AEW pop. I mean, United Center, 25,000. I mean, just the fact that, remember, back then nobody knew for 100% sure if it was going to be Punk, even though all the signs pointed for Punk.
Metzler said it was no way he was coming.
That dude, man, that dude.
Fuck Wad. Anyway,
but
and his mama.
But it's one of those things where, first of all, just on that point, I don't know how anybody even thought that Meltzer was going to have any type of clue whatsoever as to whether or not Punk was going to be it, because you already knew where he's still with Punk, and it's not like Triple H and Vince and Nick Khan are going to be like, hey, we're just happy to be trying to sign this guy that that hasn't been here in almost 10 years. We don't want to spoil it for anybody. Yeah, they're going to keep that shit super tight, and yeah, they got us.
They got the world. They pulled it up. I mean, even with Nakamura, kind of giving those little clues, ominous clues, and them doing little stuff in the background. Those Easter, little eggs that they put it.
It was crazy because everybody was sitting there waiting for Randy to RKO somebody. And then Punk's music hit, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, they got us. I think they executed it beautifully because I mean, they ran the little thing, it's going off and shit, and they got me, and I popped. My daughter looked at me like,
so this was the events that led up to what we saw last night from I can't think of the guy name, but his name is Ross, and he's
I know he's Sean Ross.
Sean Ross, and he's a very respected person as far as giving information. And they said it started off last week where Punk and Triple H had a 1 hour meeting. 1 hour meeting.
They had that Will Smith first on bib talk
Right. They had to, I guess, to probably get the shit out in the open. Hey, what the hell is going on? This and that. Are we good? Cool. They had that meeting. They said he didn't sign pen to paper for the contract until an hour before the show started. And then the process,
Roddy Piper shit. That's
yeah, right.
His hero.
And then in the process, still, it was just the only people that knew at the time. Still, what was going on was Punk, Khan, and Triple H. They kept him away from the arena at first, and then like they had him come in apparently like right before the main event started, and they put him in a secret spot where nobody else was at. Before the main event started, Triple H pulled the guys that was in the main event. So the guys that was in the main event knew. They the only other ones that knew. Right before they went through the curtain, he told all the Judgment Day, and he told them, "Hey, he's back. Saying Punk's going to be back. We're going to have him come out, do his thing, or whatever like that." And then, and like I said, still nobody in production or anything else knew. Not even there's also a video on Twitter of like the writers, the the backstage writing people who get the interview afterwards. This video like, oh shit, Punk's here. Like, they were so shocked in the room. So then they had the match, and in the middle of the match, Triple H goes to Gorilla and tells whoever's producing the match, "All right, you can bounce. I got this." And he takes over, and everyone was kind of like, "What the fuck is going? Right. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is going on here?" And so the match ends, and we've seen WWE put the copyright up. They'll show a little bit of stuff still going on, and it goes off. For y'all that don't know, the copyright on me working in television, the copyrights at the end of a show, especially a live broadcast, is the most important thing to make sure you keep your property. Because if you don't put a copyright up, somebody else can take your shit and use it as their own or whatever. So the copyright came up, and I was like, well, okay, cool. Ain't nothing else happening. I wasn't expecting nothing else. I said, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Expecting nothing. I thought maybe I thought he was going to RKO Jay and be like, that's the receipt, motherfucker, or some shit like that. Or maybe they were going to start a program with maybe him and Cody. I thought maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Then they do.
Not a bad idea, by the way.
Super duper wide shot like they normally do when they end it, and then you hear it. And when I heard it, I said, "You hear the." I said,
I screamed. I literally screamed.
I said, I know you fucking lying. Like I thought. Right. I was like, I know you fucking lying, and I'm pretty sure all 5 of us on this screen right now were like, ain't no way. And we was all probably saying the same thing. No, this some bullshit.
Yep.
Unless it comes.
It went
out.
like full. What?
Right. It was one of those things. I think we was like, they trolling us because we in Chicago, and everybody, and like they trolling us. I thought maybe they was gonna troll us. Then this motherfucker comes strutting out, and I said,
I mean a mean strut too.
I mean, mean strut. He was what they used to say back in the cock of the walk, the walk of the cock, whatever it is, cock of the walk, whatever the term is. He gonna walk out there, and I was just like,
this shit actually
happened. They pulled it off. They got us. They got everybody.
Right, they got us. And I was just
like, you know how hard that is to pull off that nobody knew. I mean, you had a rumbling, but nobody legitimate knew this.
Especially in the wrestling business, how it is now.
Yeah.
Where kayfabe is big and everything like that. It is so
hard. They sure got Rabbit.
It is so hard to keep something that big a secret where there was no leaks or anything like that. Shout out to Triple H and Nick Khan and hell, even CM Punk.
Phil.
I've called
Pepsi Phil.
So, you know what I'm saying? To pull this shit off or whatever. But then we got other shit that's happened too in between time and meantime. Yeah. Go ahead, Craig.
And that's the thing, like in today's age where pretty much everything gets leaked about 5 weeks before it ever happens. The fact that because just from the point where Punk got fired from AEW to now, that's about a good. It's been almost three months. I think next week will be 3 months.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh,
Jason's internet.
Let me just say this.
And
you froze. You froze, Greg. What were you saying?
from the point to where he got fired from AEW, we've gone through the whole gamut of okay, he's on the way to WWE. Okay, they haven't talked at all. The plan isn't for him to come back. Then it kind of got quiet for a while. Then you started having the Shinsuke segments on Raw, and of course, like you said, like they're having all the Easter eggs and shit. But even then, it was like you went through the whole show, and especially since they didn't have anything with Shinsuke during the show. I was thinking like, okay, I guess it ain't happening. Like, and my one thought was that maybe Orton is the decoy, and it's actually going to be Punk that comes in during War Games.
I thought that too.
Yeah, I thought that.
And that didn't happen either. So I was like, okay, I guess this ain't happening. And like I said, old Polly got us because man. Like I said, but that's the thing. Like that's the thing that you missed in this business, where you could just actually be shocked. And
you can be a fan, right, and not have an inside scoop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just be a fan.
I think the last time I was truly shocked like this was when Scott Hall showed up on WCW Nitro. Honestly, like that was, in my opinion, if I'm going through my mental Rolodex now, that's possibly the last time.
Not Rolodex. We got a new one.
Stop it.
Maybe
Rolex. Sorry.
Maybe when the Radicals, when Guerrero and the fam pulled up on Raw,
maybe
that was pretty shocking.
But the Scott Hall thing happened like the night after. You know what I'm saying? They was just up there.
And the thing that made it so remarkable is how CM Punk for the last 10 years has been trashing WWE. He talked about him having a concussion and them not taking care of him, and he blew them up for a minute. He had a
I mean, they were lawsuit.
Remember that was a lawsuit. Oh, they fired him on his wedding day. On his wedding day, they fired him.
So he legitimately hates his company.
They went to court.
But the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall when he first went backstage and he was mending fences then. So
that was it. When we saw that was it. He kissed the right. You're right.
Yeah, whether he lived out his AEW contract or not, at some point, once that happened, I knew he was going to end up back up in WWE. It was on the wall.
I mean, the thing about that was he was way too hot at the time when he left, when he got fired from AEW, to where you couldn't just ignore that and be like, okay, no, we're not going to do anything with that. We'll just go ahead and, we're Raul. And mind you, it's not like.
Damn it, Greg.
Well, he don't get nobody back, Jason.
And like I said, it's one of those things where by one of those moments if you tried, because that right there was, like I said, we're probably at 20 million views at this point for that video. Like, you can't buy that type of shit.
D-Lo, we ain't really heard from you yet, man. What you
go
got
ahead,
to say, bro?
Because I'm about to be mean. Go ahead.
So I was so blown away that my mind literally couldn't process like everything. Just like I couldn't believe what's happening, and I still can't. So I wrote down 3 words. I actually had to write my thoughts out because I couldn't comprehend what was happening.
I hope it ain't in the butt.
Renee Russo. But Renee.
Remarkable.
Renee, I'm so sorry.
So my first word was shocked. I was just shocked. So I actually spoiled myself because I was on Twitter.
Oh, your sources again.
Your sources, guys.
So Sean Ross Sapp, he said the whole, like, leading up to Survivor Series, he said he's not coming in. And then after the War Games match was over, he tweeted out, "I changed my mind." And then the next tweet was, the backstage area got cleared out. So I thought, when I read that, I'm like, he's coming out. And then it was like 2 minutes later, and he comes out. So I spoiled myself, but I still couldn't believe what I was watching. So
absolutely.
I was shocked that he came back because, like Jason said, he was talking shit about them as far back as recent as 6 months ago. Yeah. And that's my second word, is hypocrite. This guy.
Ooh, let's
This
talk
guy,
about it. Let's get spicy.
he, he got fired on his wedding day. He had a staph infection that wasn't being treated properly. By the way, that doctor is still there. He's still working with WWE. That's
Didn't know
the
that.
second thing.
That
Number
was that
three.
wasn't Doc Samson.
No, it was
Nah.
Chris. Some he
Sam's with AEW. Yeah.
Right.
yeah, he works,
But he used
but the
to work for
doctor.
WWE.
No, it's his name is Chris something. They actually he sued the doctor, and I think the doctor countersued him and Cole Cabana. Something like way back when all this happened back in the day. He's still there working, by the way.
Yeah, I
So-
want to say Punk won that case, and it's like I said, it's considering all the amount of just bad blood that had been built up over the years. I mean, even like when he was doing the backstage show, and that's I think that might be part of the beef with him and Seth Rollins. I know y'all probably get up that in a second, but like, there was no reason for anybody to believe that bridge was going to get mended anytime soon. That was going to be like worse than Vince and Warrior. It's like, no, we're not even touching that one. And you know, it's been almost 10 years. Next month, January will be 10 years since he left.
Oh, wow.
And it's one of those things where you want to show that you've grown. You want to show that the therapy has actually worked. You actually like they need to have that moment and be like, okay, we're different people now. It's literally a whole different company now.
Yeah,
and
maybe
we can work things out.
Yeah.
Greg,
and what's the third one? What's the third one?
The 10-year thing. So Triple H said, you know, he's different than what he was 10 years ago. I can't say the same about Punk because he was punching dudes backstage 3 months ago. So has he really changed?
But he wasn't punching guys back then, though. That's the thing.
He wasn't, but he was still a cranky asshole. He's still a cranky asshole.
I mean, that's not going to change. That's that's fair. I think that's
if
fair.
you cranky, you cranky. That doesn't mean like that you're impossible to work with. It just means
so was Shawn Michaels. He was cranky. Kurt Angle was on drugs.
It's just you got to look at the
Kurt Angle.
And then my third word
What's the third?
is disappointment / what if. What if Tony Khan was actually a boss and sat everybody down in the office and said, look, to the Bucks, to Hangman, to Punk, cut the shit. We can make some money. We can do FTR and CM Punk versus the Elite for 6 fucking months. We can sell out every arena. But no, he chose if the decision was the Bucks, Kenny, and Hangman and a package deal, or CM Punk, if he could have gotten Hangman and Omega, if he could have separated those two from the Bucks and kept CM Punk, I think CM Punk still would have been in AEW. But I think the Elite was a package deal and basically told him, like, you're going to lose all 4 of us or you're going to keep this dude. And
you know what? Go ahead.
He picked the wrong side. Like, and Jack Perry, like, fuck that dude. Like, he's the reason why CM Punk, this is why Tony Khan didn't want to release CM Punk in the first place. It's why he kept his contract all this time because of this.
Yeah.
Because of
he didn't do it because of his
on Twitter.
Beautiful personality. He kept it because he's fucking. My kids. He's money.
He's money. He's the only one that made them money.
To your point, I want to say this one thing.
Go ahead.
AEW debut 1.4 million, right, in ratings, right. Collision, CM Punk debut, obviously on the Saturdays. Saturdays, you know, notoriously hard for wrestling promotions. 806K, right. When Tony announced on Collision that CM Punk was fired, 472K. It dropped 19% to 383.
Just
these are the ratings. And then the last week's Collision, 270.
And I bet
since he got fired, it's been like a hard drop.
Yeah.
Hard drop. Yeah. And the product is good. The product is better. The product, you know, they got the swerves, like they're hitting a lot of their targets.
WWE is putting out, but the problem is WWE is just on another level, and it shows. And hold on, it just shows how Punk's impact in AEW made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made it close to 1 million, but now he goes to WWE and one night, one video gets 20+ million. Like, come on, it's levels.
and you're grabbing those fans who've been to leave that are in and out of they're in and out of wrestling, and that's what you want. That gets you to a SmackDown rating of 3 or Raw to a rating of nearly 2. CM Punk, regardless if you like him or not, if he's a cancer, if he's probably all those things. But so was Hogan, so was Shawn Michaels, so were all the greats. Now, I'm not saying CM Punk is in that level, but as far as popularity and for what the talent we have now, he's close to that, as far as like getting eyes on the product, which is what Tony Khan needs to concentrate on, not wrestling nerds, because the AEW has proven that there is a cap on all the wrestling nerd shit, like the planches, all that shit will only get you so far.
And get all your
WWE learned that a long time ago.
And
I'm not saying that AEW needs to follow that formula, because what would be the point? But they have to find something that'll get those mainstream fans. I don't know what it is.
Optics is everything.
But I don't know if it's spitting blood in someone's mouth. As much as I love that, I don't think that gets you to Dynamite having a million rating. But
hold on.
Hell have frozen over yet, but in knowing. Go ahead.
Hold up. First of all, I know y'all got into it last week. I just want to say we're not normalizing drinking blood. We're not doing it. No.
You watched it last week?
I mean, if
we might.
No, I mean, trust me. Like that conversation's been everywhere. We're not normalizing that shit whatsoever.
If the mood is right.
No. Okay. Second of all,
I've done it for Red October before. I'm sorry. Damn it, Greg, you froze again.
Now you're frozen. Let it go.
You froze.
There you go. You're back.
I watched Full Gear last weekend.
You are back.
Yeah, I'm here. I promise y'all.
Okay.
I watched Full Gear last weekend, and I actually do feel like they're actually making small steps towards a course correction. I feel like putting the women's title back on Tony Storm, putting the TBS title on Julia Hart.
Timeless Storm. You gotta say timeless. Timeless.
Yes.
There you go. I would put you in black and white if I could figure that out.
But that
now you're timeless. You're timeless.
He moving in
like you could say that for the last, pretty much since the end of him and Keith Lee, he's just been on a steady rocket. And
Swift,
I'm hoping that they don't fuck that up. So like there were small steps.
Famous last words.
But I'm hoping that they don't fuck it up. Now, as far as the Bucks and Omega and Hangman, I'm gonna say this. I feel like if they had just said you can't be EVPs anymore, you can stay here, but you lose if you lose your authority, this probably all works out, because I feel like there's a balance of power that gets really jacked up with what they have, and they use it to their advantage. And I feel like it's not just what happened
as most wrestlers do. That's why you don't have bookers be wrestlers. Like everybody has done
those who can be responsible with it know what to do with it. But I feel like they're just not at the point where they know what to do with it. I feel like because it wasn't just Punk. It wasn't just Punk.
The interest though, Greg. That's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like it wasn't just Punk. I'd argue it was Cody. Yeah. I'd argue it was a couple of other guys. I'd argue it was MJF. There's guys that you would just as soon as you start seeing them get hot, suddenly you'd be like, okay, let's put you on the back burner and cool you off. Hell,
Warlow.
Yeah. And it's something that until you figured that part out and you say, hey, you got to have some real checks and balances for all the.
Well, while he's frozen,
can I?
Well, I'm gonna toss it. I think you're frozen a little bit, but I'm gonna toss it over to Monday because he's been dying to be tagged in.
Hot tag.
All right.
Ready to go in, Coach.
So first things first. Y'all know me and y'all know how I feel about the whole CM Punk situation that happened with
you've been very
AEW
vocal
and everything. I've called him problematic Punk. is what I've
pretty good
referred to him as and everything. And like I said, this isn't, I believe, something that is just on him. Like I've said 30 times before, this is stuff that has done with the Bucks as well. Also with Tony Khan, also
stars at the top.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where the buck stops. Yep.
Not being the leader he should be. One thing is though too, it wasn't just necessarily Tony choosing the Elite over Punk. Punk also threatened this motherfucker. If y'all, some of y'all forget, he threatened.
But if you're really a wrestling juggernaut, if somebody don't threaten your life, that's when you're doing it.
Does Tony Punk? I said Tony Punk. Does Tony Khan like type of nigga?
Tony got Punk.
Did he
does he look like the type of nigga that can fight, or is like
franchise?
Right.
What I'm saying,
I'm pretty sure Vince
ate that punch from Brett, and it was like he was like, all right.
Like I said, I'm just saying, like I get it. That is a part of it, but also too, like Punk fucking goddamn threatened.
He did try to get fired for a little bit. You can't threaten to beat the shit out your boss.
What I'm saying is, if Tony Khan sat these people down like a grown-ass man after the first backstage fight, the second one wouldn't have never happened, probably.
I'm not talking about the first. I'm talking about after what happened in London and everything that happened.
Right, but that wouldn't have happened if he had sat them down in the first place.
No, it ain't even about sitting them down. It's about after that first incident happened, you take them Bucks and all them the talent that has these EVP roles, and they get stripped of them. They are regular talent like everybody else, because first of all, they're influencing other people to be on their side and causing that divide in the locker room in the first place.
And you've elevated them as leaders, so they should be the first ones to be the example. So yeah, I kind of agree with that as well.
I don't think it's that cut and dry with that. Y'all got to realize.
No, it is.
It is. People are forgetting too. Punk came in that locker room and started fucking with people from day one. There were people that were saying this shit before everything popped out.
Well, if you got motherfuckers like they want to wrestle with real glass, you gotta fuck with them. Like, are you stupid?
Jason, wait a minute, bro.
Yes, baby.
I know you about this. I'm trying to tell, and I know how much you hate the All Elite, as you call them white boys. But I'm trying to tell you right now. CM Punk can say and feel the way he wants. Granted, yes, you the star, but also too, it is a conflict of interest. Even though it's a conflict of interest, guess what? The nigga's still your boss. Because
that's why
you can say
why somebody in a position of power, they should have lost that position.
And right away, that fight. As soon as that happened, like, nope, y'all not gonna do this to the company, because at the end of the day, it's not the Bucks' money. It won't Cody money. It's a trust fund baby's money.
Be making that money from CM Punk now instead of AEW.
Yeah. And you got to punish all of them. You got to spank CM Punk for a little bit, but you got to strip the Bucks. So, I mean, bottom line, regardless of the personalities involved, they're wrestling, they're larger than life. They're supposed to have these enormous egos and personalities. That just come with the territory. That's psychology. But at the end of the line, Tony Khan, this is Tony Khan's fault that he let Jade, Cody Rhodes, and now CM Punk, and he's Booker of the Year. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, I'll
just say this. I'll say this. Through all that, y'all saying, people, WWE fanboys who are watching this, chill out. Because I saw people, it's the end of AEW. It's over.
That's
ridiculous. Franchise. WWE is probably the hottest it's been since the Attitude Era.
I guarantee you,
and the most profitable. I
guarantee you, by after WrestleMania, the shit's gonna be over with. Y'all know how finicky wrestling fans can be. Y'all know people that was talking shit about CM. Wait a minute, people that were talking shit about CM Punk and everything like that were cheering like schoolgirls last night. And whatever. You know how this fan base, you can be behind somebody like this. Yeah, it's awesome, it's awesome, it's awesome. And then after about when shit cool off. It's like that. Even with CM Punk, when he first got to AEW, remember everybody was like, "Oh, this shit might be a problem for WWE." CM Punk there. We only saw CM Punk in Chicago.
Oh, he made it. 59 yard field
he's
goal.
a pro, so he will be able. He should be able to turn on a dime and turn. Of course, that's gonna happen.
And let's not act like his matches were great in AEW.
No, they were horrible. They were shitty.
Bunch, my man Bunch up here,
but he
was
fits
like, I
in
don't ever want
more.
to see this nigga wrestle again.
Right,
Bunch, am I lying?
But listen, CM Punk at how old is he? 43, however old he is, fits in more with WWE. So does Cody. So does Jade.
But
they're not doing planchas. They're not doing reverse. You know, like.
But now
they're in a system that they will flourish in. All three of those people I just mentioned.
You can say that, but now what's happening? CM Punk is being exactly what D'Lo said. A fucking hypocrite. Because what did he do? Wait a minute. What did he do 10 years ago? He bitched and complained about The Rock being a part-time wrestler. He bitched and complained about Brock Lesnar being a part-time wrestler.
Absolutely.
And guarantee you what the fuck is going to happen with him now in WWE. He's going to be a goddamn part-time wrestler. Or whatever.
Just like in
and then here's the thing that's not going to be able to save him as much as it did in AEW. They're not going to be in Chicago every other week. Because
or he'll get booed. He'll be the biggest heel in the company.
Wait a minute. People were excited.
That's irrelevant.
But there was just as much people online that was like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Of course.
There was just as much.
And those people are going to turn in.
Those
and give them a crazy rating on Monday. That's great. And they're bringing up, they're giving mention to the WWE.
I can't rock with
those same people
win.
Out of Cody when he was in AEW. Now Cody's the hottest fucking babyface in WWE for the last year and some change. So he's still gonna get that pop regardless of where they go, because that's just that's what they're gonna do.
This ain't like that after a while. Because we AEW fans are a little bit more fickle.
Don't do that, AEW fan, because it was just wrestling fans.
Because they care about it more. The typical WWE fan is like it's like cheering the Yankees.
Jason,
right?
Yes or no?
It's like cheering the Yankees. It's like, yeah, I'm a wrestling fan. I'm like WWE. He's like, you're not a real wrestling fan.
When he was going to other places besides Chicago, he was getting fucking booed out the goddamn arena.
No.
Yes or no? Yeah. Yes, he dude. Yes, he was.
Now when he came back after his injury, that's when the shit started getting sideways. But like before he got hurt,
he was also leaning into it a little bit.
But that was after everything that happened with the brawl out. Like you got to take it into context. Like where things were when he first came back, and everything was all the whole love fest and shit. And then after the brawl out, and all of a sudden, all those cheers started turning in the mix. It was like I saw it here when matter of fact, I was at his last U.S. show when it was here in Atlanta, and it was definitely 50-50. And it's one of those things where one, you're talking about two definitely separate fan bases, and you're talking about an environment where they're not gonna let him look too much like shit if they don't have to. I'm pretty sure with this Rollins angle, it's gonna be very, very funky, but in a way that's not gonna make him look like, oh my god, why did we sign this dude? Like that's not gonna happen.
You have fireworks in the back of you.
I don't even know. I'm over here. My hands are right here. I don't know what to tell you.
Jubilee projecting.
He's going to work on hot schedule. He's going to, because he can't hold. Like he was wrestling one day a week in AEW, and he got hurt 3 or 4 times in the 2 years that he was there.
Now, for a good time, not a long time.
Now to that point, I would say one. I don't think he even really needs to belt any belt like that, because I feel like he's over. Like he's made. He's good.
He needs it like Randy Orton needs it. Like not at all.
And I think that
now if they go the route of getting heat and he takes the belt from Seth, that's a WrestleMania. Like
I will say this: there's a lot of meat,
and that's
on
happening
the bone right all of a sudden, because you got to think about it for a second. Like you had Cena for about a month and a half. You had your matches with him. Hell, you lost Edge back over the summer. You managed to replace them both with Orton and Punk in one swing. I'm sorry, but
that's a masterful swing.
You're not swinging from the same fences as everybody else is. Like when you're making moves like that, you're just not.
Yeah. So, the one thing I wanted to sort of end with was, there were not a lot of people talking about the toxicity that CM Punk tends to bring around him.
Oh,
Allegedly,
it was Jason. Y'all weren't looking for him. Trust me.
Was
it was.
Well,
It definitely was.
Seth and Drew were allegedly Drew was going off. I don't know. If
Oh no.
fans out
They
there.
said as soon as the match was over,
put
that
a hoodie
motherfucker
on.
left because he knew
Yeah.
about the CM Punk shit. They said he went right in the back. He started
hoodie
kicking
on.
shit,
Yeah.
and he started fucking up damn shit.
Yeah.
Put his hood on.
Well, he
and
should
got
go
the
to
fuck up out of there.
AEW so he can feud with
Drew
Keith
Galloway
Lee.
coming soon. He ain't got a new deal yet, so
Yeah.
coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the flip
And that's
side
probably
out of
why he
all of
pissed
this.
off, because he like, yo, where's my deal at? And these motherfuckers just, hey, come on through. See, fuck him in this deal.
That's the flip side of all of this. The people that are happy that Punk is in WWE are the people that are going to actually work with him. Seth Rollins, Cody. But guys like Drew, who's on that second tier, he's probably not going to. He might have a Raw match with CM Punk, but he's not going to have a feud with him.
Cody's going to SmackDown.
There's not money in that.
So let's talk about this.
For WrestleMania.
It's legit 3 people in that damn locker room in this company that don't fucking like this motherfucker. It's 3 fucking legit people.
Reigns, Rollins,
Roman, Seth,
Rollins, and Drew,
and Kevin Owens.
Oh, Kevin, yeah.
These 3 motherfuckers do not like his ass, and like the Kevin Owens beef is some deep ass shit back from when they was in ROH, and that's when Punk was the leader of the locker room, and Kevin had kind of just started getting in the he just came over to ROH and everything, and CM Punk was fuck with him, saying that he ain't gonna be the wrestler he think he is, calling him fat. You don't need to be wrestling in no t-shirt.
Damn, he sounds like Cornette.
You don't need to be wrestling. You don't need to be wrestling in no t-shirt and shit like that. And apparently there was a match where Kevin Owens actually went out there in a singlet, wrestled, and went back in the locker room and said, "Are you fucking happy now?" And like they said, CM Punk was like, "Who the fuck you talking to?" And
Punk Jimmy Uso.
And shit like that. So you got
that's the other one.
You got that. You got the beef with Roman because he never liked Roman. He's the one that told Vince, "You don't need to have him in the Shield. You need to put my boy in there, Chris Hero."
No. It wasn't that he didn't need him. It's just that he suggested Chris Hero first, because the Shield was his idea. Like because he wanted Moxley, he wanted Seth, and he wanted Hero, and their suggestion was Roman, and he didn't fight or anything. So yeah.
And then the Seth Rollins shit is apparently it's the shit that happened when Punk came back and was talking shit, but they say it's some other deep rooted shit.
Seth Rollins has a problem with a lot of people.
Seth Rollins needs
Seth
this
Rollins
more
with
than
Will
anyone
Ospreay,
else,
with a lot of people.
He needs this more than anyone else because
who he got problems with, Jason?
One of them was Will Ospreay. He called him a little whiny bitch or something like that, and he was like, "You don't need to be here." So, I mean,
but that's not a lot of people. That's one person.
Again, the thing with Seth Rollins that I love that you don't really know if he's really beefing. I personally think he's making a lot of people marks. I don't think he's really that upset. I think he
apparently
put teasers out there.
Apparently from the wait a minute.
Like,
apparently
if I put
this
out here, I'm gonna make money with him.
Well, apparently from
so much money with CM Punk.
Saying that, but apparently from that same guy, Sean Ross or whatever, they were saying that like that shit that happened after the match was fucking stuff being real. They said Triple H,
Michael Cole holding him back. I don't buy it.
Okay, people can stop saying it was just Michael Cole. It was Michael Cole
holding
Graves,
you back. Come on, bro.
And they was out there. They said that Triple H told the motherfuckers in his ear, "Hey, calm his ass down." And there's another video that I posted that y'all ain't see where you see him. He's mouthing. He's like, "Tell them in the back, get him the fuck out of here before I come back there." And then they also said that when he went in the back, he fucking went off. He went off about the whole damn thing. He went off about the whole fucking shit.
I absolutely think it's a work. A very convincing work, which I love.
You know what? It may be a work, but
you don't know.
I don't think it's full. I don't think it's fully a damn work because, like I said, we're not going to sit here and act like Saint Punk is like hasn't rubbed people the wrong fucking way, and we know that.
I would say that.
Go ahead. I would say that there probably is some truth in just like whatever started it. There's some truth there. Now at this point, like I said, you just chosen to move on, or you just decided, hey, I'm gonna continue to hold this grudge for however, and then like you act like you're just you can't handle the fact that they chose to sign this dude. I'm like, hey, again, like Cody said last night during the post show, like if he can bring money, why bitch about it? I mean, that's at the end of the day. I mean, hopefully, I'm sure that between now and the Rumble or Mania, they'll figure out, hey, we need to actually talk and actually, hammer this shit out. So that way, I feel like I can like we can handle being in the ring together. Because otherwise, what the fuck? I'm pretty sure on Raw tomorrow, if they're smart, they'll just go ahead and just have a face to face and have like a whole pull apart like Brock and Cena had back in the day. It's just one of those things where like you just got to go ahead. Yeah. You got to go ahead and just rip the band-aid off and just go after it. And hopefully, if you are mature adults, and we've already seen, I'm pretty sure at least in Punk's case, you see what happens when you can't have adults in the room and that want to be able to hammer shit out. I'm sure that the WWE locker room is at least mature enough to be like, hey, y'all got beef, figure it out. And let's move on.
And God forbid people think that they really don't like each other.
Not punching people in the fucking face.
Bro, but listen. It's
oh my God! Like, were you around during the Attitude Era before? Like, people legitimately didn't like each other.
Yeah, but it's another difference.
You can feel it when they don't like each other.
You don't have to like each other to work together. And
it's another difference too between bosses too. Like, if you got a boss that you respect, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna put your differences aside and get shit done. You got a boss you don't respect, then it's gonna be fucking the inmates gonna be running the asylum.
And that's why this shit was so heavy on Tony, because you're not actually stepping in and be like, hey, this is my shit. Like, do fucking business. And if you're not willing to do that, then hey, go walk, take a walk, touch grass. And like it shouldn't be friendship over business. At the end of the day, like I said, like Cody was dropping gems last night. Business above everything.
It was a good interview. It was a
really business above everything,
and so was Triple H.
But the most
so was Triple H. It was a
CM Punk ain't going in that locker room for fucking punching and stealing no fucking body.
No, he won't.
No, because they're bigger. He's gonna do that shit to Damian Priest. Get out of here.
He's not gonna haul off and damn start punching people.
He can do that in NXT, but he ain't gonna do that in.
Here's one more question that I have. What the fuck now? Because now this just completely. This is another thing why I'm kind of like, all right, people are excited. Woohoo! Punk is back. Whatever. We know what's gonna happen when you get in the ring. If he gets in the ring with Rollins is gonna have to carry that whole fucking goddamn match. I don't want to hear, he's 46. I don't want to hear that he's 46.
But Rollins
he'll make him look like $1 million.
Jason, chill out for a second.
Wait a minute. Look like $1 million.
Half that roster is already like 40 plus. I don't want to hear that whole. Punk's only 40 something. Half that roster is like 38 and up or whatever. My thing is, what now? What's going to happen? Are you going to fucking push Gunther out the way? Push some of these up and coming people that are trying? But what does it do? That's what I'm saying. What does it do?
It gets eyes who have not been on the product
for years.
It gets them, and it gets people excited for a Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. It's already done its job. It was just 5. It was like 5 minutes. And it did its job.
You're looking at a short view.
It's better to have too many options than none at all.
Right. It's an embarrassment of riches. You got Drew. You got Seth. You got Nakamura. You got one of the up and comings?
You think you don't have Carmelo Hayes? Because they've already shown before they can live without Drew.
WWE don't have any up and coming. That's the one thing AEW has over WWE.
They got the NXT guys, I mean, they don't have a strong roster.
I say shit. They still haven't pulled the trigger yet on Braun, but that's a whole different story. But I think that
they got Braun. They
don't have no up and coming. That's the one thing AEW
Carmelo will be good in the. Never mind.
Stop it. See, I knew you couldn't help yourself.
Actually,
if they can make specialized boots for Carmelo Hayes, he might have a shot.
Greg, never mind. I'm not gonna explain it. Yeah. Go ahead, Greg.
Trick might be that dude.
Oh my God.
I think Trick might be that dude.
He is.
Oh, for sure. No, we're in total agreement with that. That's across the board.
Carmelo can't even press the buttons on the elevator, and you expect me to buy him as a star? Come on now.
Right, come on.
You would think this man is 3'2".
He might as well be. He might as well be.
Because like I love Carmelo, God bless him, but at the same time, he's the same size as Ricochet.
Yo, he was in the ring with Dijak and Trick like a few weeks ago, and I'm like, are they bringing fans into the ring? What was going on there?
Damn.
Oh my god!
Right, he looks like Trick looks like Diesel, and he looks like Shawn Michaels compared. And Shawn Michaels.
No, you didn't. Just make that comparison. Thanks for making
Max
the point.
Mini. I'm gonna send y'all that pic. Hang on.
Man, Trick is that dude.
You said Max Mini?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh, God.
Like the little Mexican
Not
luchadors that went
Hornswoggle.
back in the day.
He's gonna have his first match against
Man,
Hornswoggle,
Max
who's like
Mini,
50.
yo.
I
I just think that is a real problem that WWE has. Because what WWE, in my opinion, right there was doing, kind of what WCW did, where they relying on a lot of these older guys. And they don't have
they're
any
making
young
hand over foot money. So I mean,
and won't
the
WCW
older-
making hand over? Wait a minute, won't WCW making hand over foot money with that too? I'm not saying
they
WWE
weren't.
going to go out of
until
business,
they weren't.
but I'm just saying I'm not saying they're going out of business. But the thing is, at what point are you going to start push your younger talent, your up and comers, and they aren't doing that.
When they
And
get
haven't done that
1.5
in
million views in 15
When
minutes,
they
that's
stop
when they'll do it.
getting
Once
returns
again, Jason, you are short viewing this. I'm
Hold on,
talking
hold on.
long view. I'm
No,
sorry. Go
because-
ahead, Greg.
Are we talking
Because-
about Carmelo with the short jokes, or are we talking about something else?
Go ahead,
when-
Greg.
I think Jason said earlier, right now, WWE is making like record profits right now. Until that slows down, you don't really have a strong enough case to be like, okay, let's go ahead and, just sweep everything out and start fresh with new guys. Like, I mean, they could actually afford to be like, hey, let's ease in Braun, let's ease in Trick, let's ease in
I don't think they're going to, though.
Carmelo.
They're not
That's
going
like-
to, though. I'm not saying. I'm not
Of
saying.
course they
I'm
are.
not saying.
Come
I'm
on.
the
not
money-
saying. I'm
if
not
the
saying
money
cut
doesn't
it cold
justify
turkey.
it, why would they?
These dudes ain't gonna be around for long, man.
They
Like
won't,
Damian
but-
Priest.
and they
This
won't.
is-
But again, the money will slow down before they do.
Right.
And when that happens, that's when they'll be like, okay, let's change course and let's figure something else out. Like I said, that's why it's the same reason why they didn't get the belt on the Cody at WrestleMania. It's like why would you do that given
Right.
out what the
They're
business that they're doing
selling
with
out their
Roman.
shows. Like the last 15 or something show have been sold out.
And actually,
They're
and
making
at this-
hand
and
over
at this
foot over
point-
these. They got the Saudi
Ain't-
Arabia deal. They
ain't
got the
Cody one of the
SmackDown deal, what they're
number one
negotiating for.
Ain't-
Why-
Ain't Cody one of the number one merchandise movers though?
Mhm.
Won't be anytime soon.
So, I mean,
No, he is.
if you take the belt off of Roman, it could go to Cody because he's still driving.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh.
That's yeah.
Speaking of Saudi, can't wait for CM Punk to take that Saudi check. We know how much he loves
Now
women's
we're
rights
gonna
and
see
everything.
if he really about that business.
Let's see
he's
how
a
real he
progressive
is.
champion.
Now,
We'll see.
now, if you want to
He's-
talk
I mean-
something hypocrite, that's gonna be the moment. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
like you thought you because you talk cash shit about a whole lot of people.
I mean, Sami
who-
Zayn even went to that show. So I mean, it's tricky.
They went a
It's-
couple times.
Give me
now.
Roman Reigns
Yeah.
and CM Punk at WrestleMania. I don't need to see Cody winning the belt anytime soon. CM Punk is made of glass.
Can you
He's
imagine
right by the
how
iron
bad
top.
that match is
I don't
gonna be?
know.
That match is
That's
gonna be
it.
horrible.
I don't know, D-Lo.
That match is gonna
like,
be horrible.
I feel like the AEW belt was a curse on Punk because he was completely healthy when he didn't have the belt. As soon as he got it, that's when all those injuries started stacking up on him. It's like, hey, like I said, he don't need the belt. He's over as is. He don't really need
He
that
needs
shit. Like,
the Brock Lesnar Goldberg
Roman and
deal
Punk is
where
gonna
he
look
comes
like Warrior
in,
and
pops
Hogan. That's how bad
ratings.
that shit's gonna look.
That's what he needs. He needs to do this initial run. It'd be good. He'll eventually lose whatever rivalry he's in, and then just bring him in. He's seasonal talent, which he railed against. But
Once again, like,
you can also make that an angle. You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing that. I mean, that it worked well with Brock Lesnar. You can put him with Paul Heyman again. It's so many possibilities.
And you know what, Jason? That was the interesting thing from last night because again, like you just suddenly, filled your plate back up with options, and we haven't even got to the.
And it's been so stagnant.
prospect
We've been
of-
complaining about it. Yeah.
Well, because you haven't got to the prospect of Roman and Heyman with up against Punk. I mean, like it. Like I said, like for whatever you want to try to knock as far as how he is backstage, I feel like the business will offset that. And it's like, again, when the money slows down, that's when they'll change course. But until then, You keep on riding that wave. You just.
I mean, if you're making record profits, why change it up?
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, wow. What a 24 hours. We got our own Greg here. We got CM Punk. You know, we got so many changes in the wrestling industry just in this year alone. And it's been a fun ride. It's been a fun ride. Thank you so much, Greg, for joining us to popping on. And we will more than likely see you next week. You know, we always take our little sabbatical during the holidays so we can, you know, do them holiday type activities or whatever. But
y'all are gonna want to be on next week. I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna make that prediction.
We gonna be on next week.
We'll be on next week. We'll be on next week. All right, but we will holler at y'all then. Out.